Let's talk real quick about story elements. Okay, so in this lesson, you're going to need to learn or remember, because you already know, what is the setting of a story. So when we're reading a story, there is a setting to it, and usually the author will tell you the setting of the story in the first couple paragraphs. Okay, because they want to set the scene for you. They want to grab your attention and get you interested in the story. So in the very beginning section, first page, they're going to tell you where the story is taking place and when it's taking place, and that is the setting of the story. Okay, so what's the setting of the story? When did the story take place? Where did the story take place? Okay, so let's look at some examples. When we're talking about when did the story take place, ask yourself, does it seem like it's in the past, the present, or the future? Okay, if they are walking around with pioneer bonnets on their head and they're having the first Thanksgiving, we're going to say that's in the past, right? If they are on the planet Mars and they landed in an alien spaceship, we're going to say that's probably futuristic, right? It's probably in the future. And if it's someone telling you a story about present day, it makes me think of Diary of a Wimpy Kid. Okay, he's telling you about his life as it's happening, so that's present. Okay. Also, when did it take place? Was it day? Was it night? What was the season? Okay, so those are some things you're going to ask yourself whenever it asks you for what is the setting of the story. Okay, when did it take place? Where did it take place? Where's the place? Is it at home? Is it at school? What town's it in? What country is it in? Okay, whose house is it at? All those things are going to tell you the setting of the story, the where something happened. Okay, so remember when you're talking about the setting of the story, you're going to say, when did it happen and where did it happen? Okay, those two questions you need to answer whenever someone says, what's the setting of the story? So when you're asked this in your next grades and they say, what's the setting of the story? You're going to say, when did it happen and where did it happen? And remember, when you're talking about the when, it's very important that you talk about past, present, or future. Okay, did it happen in the past? Is the author going to tell you specifically in the first line, this story happened in the past? This story was daytime. This story happened at my school. No, it's not going to tell you that. Okay, it's going to give you clues. And you need to use those clues, those context clues, to draw the conclusion. So you're going to say, what do I already know? My prior knowledge, plus the clues they're giving me to draw that conclusion and make an inference. Okay, so you guys know all about drawing conclusions using those context clues. We talk that stuff to death. So you know about context clues. Okay, prior knowledge. What do I already know? I already know that people used horse-drawn carriages in the past. I already know that. Okay, that's my prior knowledge. And the clues they're giving me, the author is telling me that they are going over really bumpy roads and their horse is having trouble pulling the carriage. Then I know, prior knowledge plus those clues, I draw the conclusion it's happening in the past. Okay. If we're talking about flying cars, I already know those are not a thing. Okay, that's future. So those are easy. Place. Also, they're not going to tell you, especially, they're not going to say, this happened at, oh my gosh, dude, oh, y'all, the toilet just flushed by itself. This place is so scary when I'm by myself. Swear, the motion detectors made the toilet flush and nobody's in there. Anyway, I feel like I want to lock my door. It's very dark out there. Okay, so back to setting. Make sure that you ask yourself, when did the story happen? Where did the story happen? Okay, I love you. I'll see you in the next lesson.